To wait or not to wait? Interest rates are up and real estate market conditions have changed quite a bit since early 2022. For buyers, the million-dollar question is to buy now or wait? I have the same question and decided to look at numbers to help make that decision of to wait or not to wait. Come on, let's do some math together. I picked a scenario of a purchase price of $800,000, and I said, okay, let's look at something 800. So you're probably looking at maybe 2 bedrooms with no parking in the city, or 1 bedroom with parking and good decent size. But that's what I picked. I figured that's a good number to look at considering the city of Toronto in the 416 area code. So I said, okay, let's look at $800,000 purchase, and let's just say, maybe if someone waits, they'll wait till it drops to 750, which is about 7% drop in price. I said, okay, let's look at the math of what if it makes sense to buy now, 800, or wait to maybe if the price drops down the line to that 750 figure. So let's go line by line. 20% down payment, you got 160,000 versus 150. So you got a 10 grand saving there. Your land transfer taxes are a little bit less, obviously on the 750, assuming you are not a first-time buyer, because you got to pay the full amount to the city and the full amount to the province. You got your legal fees. So your total capital, this is your 20% plus the 2 land transfer taxes plus the estimated legal fees. You're looking at 187,450 if you buy now at 800,000 versus 175,450 if you decide to wait, hoping this specific property drops to 750. So there's a saving of $12,000, potential savings, I should say, of $12,000. Now I said, okay, let's look at the equity moving forward if you buy now versus wait. And what I made assumptions here, I took a 5-year fixed mortgage at 30-year amortization at 4.5%, which is today's marketplace conditions. And I said, okay, if you wait, and we know the Bank of Canada is going to go up and there's more upward pressure on interest rates, and let's assume, rates, if price drops around 750, it'll be about a point, 1 percentage point higher in that 5.5 figure. So I said, okay, let's look at those two numbers. Initial mortgage balance, you got a 640, so that's 80% of the 800. So 0.8 times 8 is 640, and then 0.8 times 750 is 600. And then we look at it after 5 years. So after 5 years, mortgage balance 583 versus 554, property value at 4% appreciation, 935 versus 877, puts the equity, which is property value, 935, minus mortgage balance of 583, gives you 352, 845. That's your equity position. And then for the second scenario is 323, which is the 877 minus the 554. And you can see there you're 29, just under 30 grand ahead from an equity position perspective of 800 versus the 750. Now the interest, and this is we see the big shock figure, the interest paid over 5 years, you got 136 and change with first option current market conditions versus if you wait, obviously that goes up because of the higher interest rates, a lot more, 21, just about 20 grand and change of interest, more interest paid to the bank. Now, I'm going to jump back to the 4%. Obviously, that could change. Some people say it's going to drop, it's going to go up. But if you look at historical data, 4% appreciation over a long period, over many, many years in the city of Toronto is a reasonable number. So yes, we're going to have high double-digit increases. We'll have, a drop or a market adjustment. But if you average things out and you look at it from a longer-term trend, 4% is a conservative number for the city of Toronto. We're actually anywhere from 6 to 8%, depending on the type of property. So I'm using 4 to be conservative and more realistic in my analysis. I'm not using an over-exaggerated number. Now, in summary, I said, okay, let's look at the two cases. This is the not to wait column, and this is the wait column. Your total capital, if you jump in today, is 187,450. If you wait till you're looking for that 750 figure, then you're gonna save 12 grand in capital cost. However, you're losing out on, let's just call that about 30 grand of equity, because the 352 versus 323. Now, not to wait versus wait. And then obviously the big kicker there, also the interest. You're paying 20 grand and change of less interest of if you jump in now versus wait. Now, I do realize, every case, every person is unique. Their situation is different. Whether they're buying their first home, second home, investment property, it's really case by case type of analysis. But I wanted to use numbers and data to help answer that question. Obviously, your scenario might be different, but I do hope that this will shed some insight on the current market condition versus waiting, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever the case may be for your personal situation. I hope this analysis helps. Keep in mind, every person's or family situation is unique. If you're looking for your personal analysis, reach out and I'm happy to help. And until next time, happy home hunting.